Everybody, good morning. Welcome to the show. Like we got Dan and Larry and Ivan and Rosalind, Rex, Sergio, Craig, Ed, Sinborn, Bill, John, Diane, Rob, Kevin, Donald, Don, Ellen, Will, Arturo, Darren, Joy, Benjamin, Joseph, Helen, Cosmic, Ryan, Pauline, Wreckit, David, Ted, Ted, Ivan, Alan, JB. Welcome everybody, and my channel members, thank you for being channel members. Now, as I posted this weekend, yesterday, actually, on the YouTube thing, if you didn't know, there are posts, it's not just videos. I announced that I'm going to be doing a challenge where I'm going to take a publicly shown Robinhood account that I've linked to K-Info, and I'm going to be building that up over the next time. I don't have a time frame for this. I'm going to be putting money in. I'm going to be building it up to a reliable $50,000 a month in trading profits and documenting the entire journey. If you want to be along for the ride, links are down below. You can be a channel member. You can watch it on K-Info for free. You can, if you want all the trades and all the twists, all the turns, all the updates, all the information, the only place you get that is Turnmeyer Trading Lab. It's expensive, yes, but I will be disclosing all the information with that group. It's my insiders. It's my all access VIP members, and they deserve to know all the things I do to get from where I am now to there. And I'll probably make a video and explain the why and the how and the why it is I want to do this. It's in the post if you want to read it, but I'll probably make a video for those that don't want to read, don't know how to read, I guess. I don't know. If you are one of those that doesn't know how to read, you better be careful trading. Honestly, I do think that it does take some reading comprehension to be able to do this, but I'm welcome to argue. Sorry about that little momentary disconnect there on the software. Anyway, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling anything out there at all. All right. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. It's not what I do. All right. So there's a substantial risk of loss in all trading. You might lose money if you trade stocks. You might options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. You might lose money doing all those things. So be careful out there. You might lose money. Now, tariffs on, tariffs off. What sectors got hit the worst? Check this out. So utilities have been up. Like, where's the flight to safety? Looks like utilities, but not much right there. I mean, just a little. Oh, that's cool. Takes up the whole screen. 3.3 to 1.9. Now, consumer staples down a little bit. But what was down a lot of bit? Roll down here. We see energy. Energy was the biggest loser right there. S&P 600 energy. We see information technology down a lot. We see consumer discretionary, which is at odds with the consumer staples. We see, more technology down. We see more energy down. We see communication services down. Yeah, we saw, if you haven't looked at the T-Mobile chart or some of those got hit pretty good. Healthcare got whacked pretty good. Materials whacked pretty good. It's kind of interesting, right? Like healthcare. Why was healthcare down? Do we import a lot of healthcare? I mean, just big picture. Think about that a minute. I don't think any of the doctors I visit. I don't visit doctors, but in the doctors we go visit get imported. Anyway, trip to doctors, not really imported, but healthcare. I mean, it's weird, right? Magnificent 7, right there. S&P 600 as a whole, down pretty good. Financials got whacked pretty good. Industrials got whacked pretty good. And consumer discretionary again, technology. We're kind of seeing financials, discretionary, healthcare, communication. There's some industrials. Oh, a little bit of real estate showing up here, down 14. Some more energy. You kind of see the reoccurring theme here, right? So those are the sectors that got hit the worst in the market. And some of these down here have the biggest potential to recover quickly. So, yeah, what doctor do I visit? That's true. Anyway. I know we do import a lot of prescription drugs, but how much is it? How much is it really? And here we are. S&P 500 hanging out. Potentially bounced off the weekly roadmap line. Went way faster than I thought it would. If you're new here, welcome. Let me know in the chat. I'd love to have new people joining me all the time. Love to welcome you. I look for two main patterns in the market. All right. The first pattern, my main pattern that I use pretty much every day is called the roadmap bounce pattern. And this is the roadmap line. If you want more information about that, you can click on the link underneath me here, the channel icon thing. This is Jeffrey Termeyer Trading. Click on that. Go watch the video pinned to the homepage. It gives you the code and everything, how it works for free. And if you just want an easy button to put it on your chart, it's $5. Links in the description. Click the more button down there too. Expand it out, $5. You can throw it on your chart just like this. And it's really simple. And the whole thing, I'm looking for things that bounce off of it, come back up, break above the 618 line. This is really simple. And then we get continuation, 75% likely across thousands of tickers to get to that level right there, the 1.1448. And you may be like, well, when I watch your video, you don't talk about the 1448. Yeah, that's a new level that I developed. It's 90% of the way to the 1272. The 1272 has proven to be 70% likely to get hit once we satisfy this criteria. Closing a daily, or it takes a candle close, whatever time frame you're on the weekly case, that'd be a weekly close. Usually I'm on the daily chart, so it takes a daily close above that 618. That is your criteria. So right now, until we close the week above this 618 level, we're still in a potential down. And we'll talk about that more in a second. There's the levels. Now, you may be like, well, what's the likelihood we go on up? Well, the next level up, the 1618, drops off to only 35% likely to get hit once we close above that 618 level. So extension up to 7,000, not as high probability as hitting this once we close above that 618 level. Got to do it. All right, we got to close above to get that continuation up there to new highs. Now, does this work upside down? Absolutely, it works upside down. All right, same principle, same thing. If we were down here and, well, let's find a point where we were in a downtrend, which on the weekly chart, probably not going to work. Let's go down to a smaller time frame where we can kind of show this off. So right here, we broke down below. We came up, tested, bounced off, and went lower. Yeah, right there. Came down, bounced off, and went lower. So it works upside down. Both ways. All right. Works on all time frames. Same way. Same thing. Now, if you start on the low time frames, the 1 minute, you start seeing, well, it's busting through. That time frame is, relatively unreliable. A lot of things happen on a 1 minute time frame very quickly. 5 minute, a little slower, little slower, little slower, little slower, little slower, little slower, until we get all the way up to the weekly and the monthly. They're really slow. All right. So it's all about time frame. You shouldn't make daily decisions based on the 1 minute chart. 1 minute, we're on the uptrend. 1 hour, we've been in a downtrend. Still in a downtrend on the 1 hour. Haven't been able to break through yet. So you got to be careful. It's treacherous territory looking for upside when we've been in a confirmed downtrend. Now, I said there were two patterns, right? That's one. That was one pattern. The other pattern, it's very related, but slightly different. And I call it the measured bounce. All right. Now, I'm going to pull this off the chart for a second. Down here, and we're just going to talk about it. Let's say we've been in a downtrend, just like we are, right? Stock's been going down, market's been going down, and we get a bounce. Something like this. Now, We've all seen that happen, right? How do you know if we're going to go higher? Well, I just told you. We bounce off the roadmap line and we get a close above the 618, and it sets up the odds that we're going higher. But how do you know if we're getting continuation? Lower. You run this, and when we stop right in the vicinity of the 618, right there, and then turn down, clicked on the wrong button, we get a continuation lower. That's a measured bounce. We would run the 3-point fib tool, 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. In case you missed it, that was point. Come on. 1, 2, and 3 right there. And this gets us our extension point right there. This is the likely spot to go hit. Now, you may be like, well, does this work the other way? You notice that. Why am I so focused on the 618 level on the S&P right now on that weekly chart? It's the difference between doing a roadmap bounce and doing a measured bounce down. All right, very important. And if we do a measured bounce down, we're probably going to hit extension targets down like the 1618, possibly even the 272 on the next move down. Not great. Not great. Now, like I said a second ago, does it work going up? Absolutely. Same thing, same way, same. Let's say we had price coming up and, we did a retrace like this. Run that same fib line like that. How do I know what that looks like? I've done enough 618s. Like I can draw a 618 without having to have the fib lines on there. At some point in time, you kind of get it. And then we can get continuation. First point, second point, third point. That continuation probably would put us somewhere in here. All right. Now I use the 50% and the 786 as the zone that it can bounce in. All right. This whole zone right here can be the measured bounce zone. It can be as high as 50, can be as low as 786. If we step across 786, it starts really tipping the odds that we're going on down. All right. So there is a sort of danger zone that we can fail, if you want to call it failing, on this thing. But that would be the ideal proportions here. And I go through the market looking for these all the time. Like these are the two patterns that combine together for me to find high probability trades. So there you go. So when we look at the charts today, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Those two patterns over and over and over. Looking for those two things. All right. It works all time frames, works all tickers, works better on stuff that has no extra earnings. There's only a few things that really, there's only a few news items that really affect stocks. You can argue with me otherwise, but companies going bankrupt or did something funny with the money, funny business with the money, that's news that matters for a stock. That's almost the only news that matters for a stock. Not tariffs, not anything else. And for those of you non-believers, back here in the summer of last year, June, July, we were over here, way back in the land, way over here. I was like, it doesn't matter who gets elected to the White House. We're probably going to make big all-time highs right after the election. And then we're going to go in a correction. And, everybody's like, well, why would we do that? This, that, and the other. And I was like, it's just time. Like the charts say it's time. And then we popped up, rallied strongly after the election, got some chop. Coming into the year, we made a new high just right around the inauguration. And then we went down a lot. Now we're coming back up swiftly, and we'll see what happens. This is a key level right here, the 618. This zone right in here, that's why it's a big orange zone right now. Between that 50% retrace and that 786 retrace, this is a big key resistance level. Got to get through it to confirm we're going higher. Now, because this bounce is on a weekly chart, It's going to take some weeks to play out. And it's a strong pattern. If we actually close above here, we're probably going to get that continuation. Now, on the daily chart, there'll probably be some stuff like this that takes us up there. If we reject off of this 618, it really scares me, but we could be heading down to the monthly or somewhere like right down in here. Right down in here. I talked about that. 1272, 1618, possibly even the 272, all the way down here, 3200. On the next move. Very key right here. Like this could be big, fast. If you thought this was vicious, you ain't seen nothing yet if we do this move right here. This is a dangerous pattern setup of the market. Don't be complacent. Should you liquidate everything? I can't answer that for you. All right. I'm not playing a financial advisor. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. All right. Can't tell you. You got to make your own decisions. If you're not good at making your own decisions, you need to calibrate yourself. All right. Nobody's going to watch out for your money more than you do. Even if you hire a financial advisor, they're probably just looking to make some of your money and some of their money. Maybe give you some tips and advice on the way so you can give them more money in the future. It's kind of the way this whole thing works. All right. Why am I doing the 50K challenge? Because I feel like teaching people how to go from where you are. I love making the big trades. I love making the big wins. And this year, I've been watching my performance, and I'm like, whew, I got some big up days. Yeah, I started out the year when we were up here. I was up almost $100,000 for the year. Then, by the time we got here, I was down almost $100,000 for the year. That's a $200,000 swing. That's volatility. I wanted more stability. So I'm looking to set up an account that makes $50,000 a month, roughly, no matter what's happening. No matter if we're getting a big rip or a big dip. So I can, rely on that money. Why don't I have that now? Haven't really needed it. Haven't really, I just got to, I had a friend ask me some difficult questions in the last couple of weeks. And, I thought about it and meditated on it and, internalized it. And I decided this is what I needed to do to unjam myself from, the situation that I've currently found myself in. Taxes are due tomorrow. All right. I found myself not screwed, but in a tight spot, put it that way. And instead of accepting that, I'm going to do something about it. 50K challenge is the thing I'm going to do. All right. Now, if you found the post or, didn't found the post, if you will, and you're wondering, well, where's the link? Where can I see the information, right? It's in the description, of course, but I'll post a link in the chat. This is an old Robinhood account. I haven't used it in a while. Paste and go, put it right up on the screen. I haven't used it, haven't made a trade since, I think this trade was in 2021. $61 loss. Has a history of winning, 64% of the time, 65% of the time. I'm going to put money in here. It doesn't really have any money. Going to put money in here and work it from making no money to making $50,000 a month. Why Robinhood? Because they don't really charge any fees. And it would sync the entire lifetime of the account to this K-Info site right here where I share it all in public. If you want to follow the trades, just follow along. You don't have to pay anything. Now, if you want details on all the trades and when I do them, the only place you get that is Termite Trading Lab. If you want updates and reasonings and stuff like that, I'll share it with channel members. I'll give you updates along the way. We're going to do this out in public. Might take 5 years. I don't know. It's going to take a while. I'm not going to fluff it. It's going to take a while to build this into something I can count on right here. So you can start with however much you want. I put moved an initial $10,000, and we're going to start there. I reserve the right to put money in, take money out as I need to and want to. It's not a locked in thing. I'm not starting with only $10,000. It's not the kind of thing I'm going to do. I'm not taking $10,000 and turning it into $50,000 of income. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to build an account that earns $50,000 a month reliably. That's what I'm going to do. All right. I'll give you all the updates along the way. Right now, I moved $10,000. How did I get $10,000? I'm moving money from one place that I have money to another place I have money. Most of my trading capital right now, people are like, oh, you trade, this, that, and the other. I'm very IRA rich. I'm very cash poor. Most of the money that I trade with is in IRAs. I'm a young guy. I don't know if you notice. I'm losing my hair, but I'm not that old. I'm still in my 40s. And I've got a ways to go before I can draw IRA money. How do you follow the trades? K-Info. But all the trades will be there. It'll be an end of the day sync on that K-Info site. I just had up a second ago. Posted link right there in the chat. You can watch every single trade. There's not a single thing hidden in here. It has the entire lifetime history of this account loaded up. It's like, have I made any trades lately? No, there's no trades lately. I haven't used this account since 2021. It was just sitting out there. K-Info can sync up. It worked with Robinhood. I was like, that's pretty cool. So you can see the entire history. You can see everything I do right here. All right, it says to view full trade details, you must log in. Doesn't cost anything. Sign up today, completely free. That's true. I haven't paid for a subscription. Do you have to link your account? No. Do you have to share anything? No. There's no requirements to this at all. If you want to, you can. You don't have to. You don't have to do anything. All right, it's all up to you. I think it's a cool idea. It's going to be a while. I'll post updates. I'll make videos about it. So if you want to follow along on the journey, it's going to take a while. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not like, I'm going to do it by the end of the year. That's not very realistic. All right. People overestimate what they can get done in a year. People underestimate what they can get done in 5 years. I think it might take 5 years. Maybe I get there faster. Maybe it takes 10. I don't know. But if you want to watch me on the journey, hit the subscribe button. Consider being a channel member. I'm going to give channel members more details. I'll give Termite Trading Labs the full details. All right. So how do we make money today? What are we watching? Well, let's check this out. S5TW stocks above their 20-day moving average, hanging out in the reversal zone. Stocks above their 50-day moving average, hanging out in the reversal zone. And stocks above the 200-day, bottoming out in the reversal zone. This is indicative that we might see a big reversal in the market right here. All of those hit the 20s. All right, pretty nice. ES, I caution you here, as long as we are still below this high, we have a potential. Like, this is a very important high right here. As long as we are below this high, why did I switch to futures? Because it has all the overnight price action for the S&P 500. If you've never seen this before, ES1 exclamation point on TradingView. If you're trying to look at it on a trading platform, usually it's /ES. But if you're on Tasty Trade or E-Trade or Thinkorswim //ES. It's the one under the question mark on the bottom of your keyboard there. And as long as we're under this high right here, we still have the potential to go down at least back to 5,000, if not lower low. Still in the charts. We have this 3-wave up thing. We have this move down. We have this retrace that's ambiguous. And we can get continuation lower. What would cause that? I don't know. It's still in the chart, though, until we get above this level. That level right now, 55.30 on ES. If we were to look at the SPX, what kind of level is that? It's pretty similar. It's right there on the chart, right here. This high right there. Coming over. Oh, I clicked on the bar instead. Put your cursor on it. The high, 54.81. 54.81 and change. So as long as we're below 54.90, you set your alert there, 54.90. As long as we break above 54.90, we're probably tilting the odds. We're going to test this 618 zone right up in here. 618 zone, right around 56 to 5,700. I've even said possibly up to 5,800 we can find a resistance. This will be a key spot right here between 56 and 5,800. I put an alert right there when we start clearing the top at 5,900. We're probably going on higher. Now, this could develop into a 5 up. It's kind of crazy. Did get overlap. Not the best. Could be a leading diagonal off the bottom. Now, if it is a leading diagonal, we'll probably see some resistance right up here as we get into 5,600. And we'll probably do a deep retrace, something like this. That'll be a 5 up in a leading diagonal, which is not a bullish pattern. Just be careful. We may see a 3-wave, this retrace that we see here. If it's 3 waves, probably hold in here and then do another 3-wave or 4-wave or diagonal thing back higher again. And we'll probably come up in at least into here before we do another retrace. That's a lot of gobbledygook, but that's what we're looking for right now. All right. It is leaning on Elliott wave technical analysis. Now, in Q, same pattern, same thing, same story. Got to break above the high, and there just happens to be a downtrend that we've been keeping intact for about 2 weeks-ish, almost 3 weeks-ish. If we can break through that, starts tipping the odds, we're going on higher. There was overlap here also. That makes it more questionable whether we're getting bullishness higher or we're going to reject and go lower. This is a very treacherous time in the market. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. You may lose money. No matter which direction you bet, we could see volatility increase again. CL, we have a big long-term move up, and we're going to retrace. We may go lower, down to 20s. We may find support right here. Could have possibly bottomed out right there at 60. The next move I want to see, break above the roadmap line, break above this downtrend from this high we made back here in July of 23, and get continuation up to at least the 99 area. If we close above the 618, that sets the odds that we're going on up, possibly to new highs like 150. Haven't been up there in a while. It's been a few years since we've been up in that kind of price range on oil. All the way back here, 2008. Sound familiar? This is deja vu for me. If we do a big spike, oil back up in that kind of price range, look what potentially comes next. SPX. Let's talk about this really quickly. Why I've got market deja vu. Remember that 1 week roadmap line thing I talked about a minute ago? It's going to draw here in a second. Maybe, possibly. Come on. You can do it. Cool. There it goes. That weekly chart. It was actually a smaller time frame. It was 3 days. Check this out right here. Come back over here, 2007. This is eerily similar to 2007. Eerily. Just a little bit bigger move. That's the problem. See what we did right down here? Came down pretty violently, pretty quickly. Came back up. Did it again. Came back up. New highs. And then what happened? Oh. This was the 3-day. All right. Spiked down. Came back up. New highs. And then, whoa, baby, we went down. That right there. 57% correction, 58%. Now, zipping back over here, we dipped into the 3-day and the 3-day. See how this is eerily familiar? We managed to push it down to weekly and weekly. You see this? See the same? See how this is eerily similar? If we go pop this up here, what do you think comes next? %57 downside. We gotta scroll that down. You could be looking at numbers down here. Look at this. That's a rough number. Maybe like no possible way. These are just price patterns. They repeat. All right. Be careful out there. It's showing up in the oil chart. It's showing up in the S&P chart. Showing up in the NASDAQ chart. Showing up in the Russell chart. Showing up in the Bitcoin chart. All these things are coming together. Gold. Well, we moved the 5 over. Went on an extension. Now do we do the correction back to the roadmap line? I don't know. We'll see. Still have that potential that was the top. And we still have the potential for a correction. That correction, that 618 retrace, puts us right down here. Right where the roadmap line is. So that move from this low up to that high, 618 retrace, back to the roadmap line. Be careful on gold. Silver, working on something a little different, but this looks like it might want to take another dip right back down here. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we might get a 5th way down. This was a big deep 3. We're coming up into the 618, which is a lot deeper than it usually goes for a wave 4. But I mean, usually we get a wave 4 that just comes to here, and then we get the continuation. But we came up here, and we might get that continuation to a lower low than 2760. Be careful. It's not time for silver yet. Bitcoin. Oh, come on. Come on. Stick the landing here. We're so close to confirming a breakout above the downtrend of highs. On the futures chart, stuck in that roadmap line. I want to see it push on through on the spot market. To go low. I missed a C in there. We're pushing through the downtrend line, but we're stuck below the roadmap line. I still think that this might be what we do, but we've got to get the continuation. We've got to actually do it. I can't select all that stuff at once and copy it over. Unfortunately, it's just not the way it works. Yeah, one at a time. Cool. Wish I could just grab it all and move it, but I can't. So, sitting here waiting. Got to get the confirmation. Now, what I really want to see, I want to see a daily close above that level. Above 89. You see how that was kind of an important level all the way across there? I want to see it close above that 89 level to give me my first indication that we're going higher. Now, we also have the 618. Missed the... There we go. That top, that low right there. That 618 level coming out. Look at this. Almost a perfect place for it to be. Right there. There's the price right at 96,000. If we can get the daily close above that, start tipping the odds. We're going on up. Those targets, 115, 120. Funny enough, I've been talking about 115, 120 for a long time. Probably since back here in January. Maybe even before that. Looking for that pop to 115, 120. We may see if we do that, we may see a retrace back down in the 100,000 before we can get continuation higher. Ethereum did some damage. We got down, stepped across the line. Be very, very, very careful here. If we break below these lows again, that becomes very high probability. Like 85% likely. High probability. NKD, working on the potential reversal here. I'm cautious as long as we are under this low right there at that 36.5-ish area. As long as we stay below that low, we still have potential to go make one more trip down here. This is an indication of global liquidity right now, tipping the odds that we're coming back up. But until we get above that level right up in there, still have the potential to come back down. Dollar took a big spill, probably has lower to go. I've been looking for that 97 level for I don't know how many years now. Started back here in 22, I think. Looking for this drop to this mid 90 level. We might finally be doing it. Right down in here. And if that doesn't hold, we'll probably go on down even further. Low 90s. Low 90s has kind of been a floor for a long time. It's kind of been an average resting spot. Right around 90. Since like the 80s. I mean, almost my entire life. Dollar hanging out right around 90. We take little diversions up. We take little diversions down. We take little diversions up. Probably take a little diversion down. We hang right around 90. I expect it to come back to the mean. All right. How do we make some money today, right? I pulled all the things moving $2 or more up, put it on the gainers list. All the things moving $2 or more down, put it on the decliners list. Coming up at the end of the show, I have a bonus trade or two, and we'll talk about them. So stick around to the end or come back and watch the end later after I'm done live streaming and see what the bonus trade was. All right. So gainers, I'm probably not going to hit all of them because, well, there were more than 100. Let's go. Let me pop up and how many exactly were there? There were 136 gainers and 11 decliners. So 147 total tickers. That's a lot. And we usually find more opportunity in the decliners than we do in the gainers. So FNGA. And working on a reversal. I'm not sure that we're going to do it or not. That's until the bigger FANG, Mag 7 and FANGs confirm, this might or might not reverse. PTIR is leveraged PLTR. I am long PLTR. It was on the market roadmap list this week as a potential bounce. But it can reject this 618 level and turn down. We got some gaps. Those are resistance. So we have this big giant resistance level, and we were right at the bottom of it. If we can get above, it tips the odds we're going on up, but it may reject off of there. Careful is the name of the game. Biotech and pharma. This is one of those things that just doesn't follow the patterns, you know, drug approval, whatever, drug denial, phase 3 trials, all that stuff. If this is going to play out, we'll see it pop up into that area more than likely, but it also could fail because it has a low probability of working out based on my history, the biotechs and pharmas and medtech and anything the Food and Drug Administration in the United States gets involved in kind of has some volatility that you just can't account for with price action. It's one of those other things that affects stock prices. You know, there's something funny with the money and the Food and Drug Administration. U.S. government. There you go. VGT. And pretty sharp downtrend. Break above this stuff. We could be heading up, but looks pretty bad right now. Lilly potentially bottomed. That was a big, long correction from this high back here last summer in August. First move down, 3-wave retrace, and that's only 3 waves down. So we may have one more dip to go before we're completely done. Maybe in the 600s. Below 675, anything in there can finish this up. Bull, Weeble. Ah, Weeble went public. I do have a Weeble account. And nice. Didn't even know it was going public. Yeah, we'll see. Spotify. Most IPOs, I caution you here, most IPOs end up going below below their IPO price. Initial public offering. So we have this initial offering price. This is getting a little wacky doodle, up 300%. And at some point we may run out of juice and come back down. But right now we're in a low liquidity environment, so we could see this rip and go to crazy levels before it comes back down. Spotify, measured market roadmap bounce in place. Get the close above the 618. Watch out for this little consolidation. Could provide some resistance. Get above that. There's the upside target, 78 right there, 78. All right, GS reported earnings. They were good. But the rest of the financials is kind of weighing on them. And roadmap line, and then 618 above that one. BAC, they'll gonna report earnings tomorrow morning. Right there, we do have a number of earnings coming out this week. Let me grab that really quickly. We can kind of run down. All right. Copy the link. Cool. I gotta copy the link. Copy the link. Yeah. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, cool. Personal information. Love it. So there we go. There's the list. This is Earning Whispers. Follow them on Twitter. Just Earning E-Whispers. And Goldman Sachs reported earnings Monday. MT Bank. Got Citi and Bank of America, PNC. Got some U.S. Bank Corp. Got ASML coming up. United coming up. Netflix coming up on Friday. We get some big tech starting out right there on Friday. Ought to be interesting. Interesting. All right. We usually see money flow into financials, but now the financials are reporting earnings. We usually see that money flow out of financials and into big tech in anticipation of big tech reporting earnings, which that kind of starts up on Friday. We have other big tech coming up soon. April 22nd for Tesla next week. We have Apple coming up on May 1st. We have NVIDIA probably coming up way out here. They usually don't hang out with the rest of the big tech. We got Microsoft coming up right here on the 30th. We've got Meta coming up right here on the 30th. We got Google coming up right here on the 29th. So it's going to be a spicy couple weeks. Netflix coming up on Thursday. There. Probably going to be a pretty wild week. Now, Friday, the market is closed. Be careful out there. Be careful. The market is closed. So earnings expire on Thursday. Or earnings. Options expire on Thursday this week. Keep it in mind. This is the third expiration of the month. So it's a weird Thursday monthly expiration. Just be careful out there. Nobody's watching out for your money but you. Apple got beat down pretty good. We could see this reverse, or we could see it drop down to further support down here. I don't know which one we're going to do. I don't have a crystal ball. I mean, I have a bag of unicorn dust. I got a dumpster fire, but I don't have any crystal ball that works, so be careful. MSTR, this has been bouncing. We kind of back tested this line. We moved up. If Bitcoin can get continuation, we'll probably see this move up to 425, possibly even higher levels here. We potentially have a measured bounce in place that could push it up to 442. That would be in that 618 level. If we close above that, we could get the continuation up to 590. That'd be pretty spicy right there. Nice opportunity on MSTR. I am long MSTX, and we'll see what happens. Reserve the right to close that at any time. BMA. Nice potential reversal. There's the high, there's the low. 618 coming up at 96, 97. Looking for 126 if we break above it. ASML, we hit the support. Now we're looking for a reversal. I would love to see this close above the roadmap line to get continuation higher. GME, what we got cooking here? Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. I want to see this rally back up in here. Ooh, yeah, look at that. 618 resistance right at that prior high and that prior high. We're above the downtrend. It was a loose downtrend, but downtrend nonetheless. It's more like that. Love to see this pop on up. So next resistance right up here at 30. Get above that. We can see it pop up here, 36. Not too shabby. Yeah, I've got my alert set. All right, and then I need an alert up here. CRWD. So the point of the 50K thing is going to be a very conservative trading strategy that I can reliably count on. This is not like I'm not betting all my money on GME and bull crap like that. All right, this is going to be a different idea. I want high probability trades. I have a strategy called Green Light Income Alerts. It has 86 wins in a row. How many losses? 0. Like seriously, 0. All right. I know how to do conservative trades. I just don't enjoy them most of the time, but I enjoy making money. So I'm going to apply some of the strategies and methods that I use to be conservative and trade that 50K challenge. So it'll be different than most of the stuff I do, but I'm going to use technical analysis. I'm going to be selling puts. I'm going to be taking shares. I'm going to be doing covered calls. Probably do some bull call spreads. Maybe do some bear put spreads. We'll see. We'll see what we do along the way. I might do some bull put spreads. Might do some bear call spreads. I mean, we'll see what happens. I've got the whole arsenal of trades. You know, I took a comprehensive option trading class years ago from Options Animal, and it took me a long time to do it. And one of the final things you have to do is profitably trade a paper account to graduate. And I did the whole thing. It was years ago. I know all these strategies. I know how to rescue trades. I know all these tactics. I just don't find it fun to fight a trade. So usually I just close it and move on. But I can do it. Bulls. Perk B. That's on the way. Target's up here. 551, 561. Best Buy. You know, it's funny that despite what everybody thinks, that everybody wants, I want to build an account that does this. The majority of you will not buy a product that has that kind of conservative strategy in mind. All right. Most people want the glorious, fast, 300% wins. You don't really want the slow and easy. I made 1% this week on my account. But 1% and 1%, do that 52 times a year, you're looking at like 50%. With compounding, you're looking at 60 to 70%. That's the kind of thing I'm going to be looking at doing. So it's a whole different mindset. It's slow, it's easy, it's boring, it's not glorious, it's not catching something like Best Buy bouncing. It's not catching GME bouncing. It's not catching, tariff stuff. It's kind of trying to provide reliable income. It's a different mindset, all right? It's not trading. It's not 0 days. It's not any of that kind of stuff. But the majority of you won't buy it. And that's why I've been doing these trades since the beginning of me trading. I took a $500 account and turned it into a $26,000 account without ever putting more money into it. It took from 2003 to 2019, so it took 16 years. But I took $500 and turned it into a $26,000 account with basically one trade. There were lots of twists and turns along the way. Maybe I got lucky on that. App looks like we're going lower. App loving. Dell. Potential reversal. We're going to have to break above the roadmap line. CEG. I'm going to be relying on all this stuff I do right here. All these patterns. Coin stepped across the line. That could be the lower low we needed. That's a difficult chart. Till we start getting some confirmation that's still a downtrend. ETN, same, still a downtrend. Till we form a reversal. PLTR I already talked about. IBKR. First signs of reversing. Confirmation above 196. Tesla. That's lower highs. Caution coming into earnings next week on the 22nd. It's only 8 days away. Tuesday evening. I guess we'll be doing 30 minutes of awesome while that happens. Should be glorious fun. Right here. Holding the floor. And this, we're running out of room over here. A breakout puts us into the roadmap line. And then we have to get continuation to go higher, obviously. What do I expect to happen? Not sure at the moment. That could be 1, 2, 3, 4. We could do this could be a big 4, and we could do a 5. It's in the cards here. First move down, the retrace. We got down to the 1618. This is why I'm very cautious here. 1, 2, 3. Add 4. Back to the roadmap line. Could set up we have 5 down right there. Very cautious here. And that works. See this pop up here and then get continuation right down there. That's the pattern that looks like in the place right there. I'll have to see what happens in the next few days. If we're in earnings right here, if we're right there at 290, 300 when earnings hit, that's probably the move. SPXL, that's leveraged SP500. XLK has gotten beat down, has the opportunity to come back up. Let's see, SOXL. And doing nothing. OXX. Doing nothing. SMH. Doing nothing. Uninteresting. Not a lot of glory out there today. MU. Potential to reverse here. We dipped lower than I wanted to see. We're in the danger zone. We're getting continuation down into the 30-40 area down here. EST. That was cool. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to move. And it says 618 levels all the way up there. We got to get above the roadmap line and above the 618 FAS. Reversing a little bit, but we're going to have to negate going lower. We need to move above this level right here. And then get confirmation above here, and confirmation above here to go on higher. The higher targets at this point, up here around 203. YPF. Wow. Big high, big low. 618 level, that looks like a good spot for that. If we break above 39, we could see a rally up to 51 on that one. RH. Kind of hanging out down here. MDB. Looks like we're still on a path to get lower. Dia. ARM. Came back to the zone I expected. Now it would not surprise me to bounce back up, retest the roadmap line before we possibly continued lower or broke through and went higher. Ambiguous pattern at this moment. AMD stepped across the line. Didn't really want to see it get down to that level that we got to. I'm going to hold on one second. Let's see. There we go. That extra bit was bothering me. And in fact, I'm going to get rid of this one. All right. Looking for that to reverse and get back above the roadmap line to set up moving higher once again. This went deeper than I wanted, but I said down to 75 was possible. Been talking about that since we made the high back here last year. In fact, I think I was talking about before we made the high, like January, February last year. I was talking about how we could come down to this area. And here we are finally. So I was reluctant to get in. Good reason. Now, what do? We've got to get a confirmation that we're coming out of this funk. There's not really a great place to put a trend line, but it looks like it's pretty much right in line with the roadmap line. Get above that, we could start looking higher. But if we reject off of that, we might be going lower low than we had right back here. Could be somewhere down in the 40s. That's rough. That's why I don't get involved yet. All right, we have the potential to go higher, but this is potential for a measured bounce. That could project it way on up. That's why I'm excited about watching it. Potential's all the way up here. 300 to 700. But it's got to actually do some bullish stuff. It can't just keep eroding, because then it's more likely to go down to 40 than it is to come up to 300. Roll Caribbean. Big deep retrace below the roadmap line. Careful out there. CLS. Nice potential. Bounce. Get back through the roadmap line. Back through the 618. Tip the odds. We're going up to 164. AVGO. Same through the roadmap line. Through the 618. 274. STX. It looks pretty rough. Wow. I think they gave up on the... I kept up with my technology companies correctly. They gave up on solid state stuff. I'm going to sell it off and focus on traditional hard drives. Measured bounce potential. Potentially up to 200 area right up in here. If we can get the bounce. So let's actually mark that official. Gonna have to get above the roadmap line, which is all the way up here, to get that going. Well, that hit the downside. 1, 2, 3. Can we reverse it? That's the big question. NVIDIA, well, we hit the second target. We didn't get the extension target. That's still hanging out. There's potential as long as we are under the roadmap line. That's major resistance. We get above that area. 132. Tips the odds we're going to new highs. 160 plus on NVIDIA. Logitech been beat down. We came up just shy of my target. As long as we're under the roadmap line, we could see that extend on down. Skipping the leverage stuff. ADBE, Adobe. Potential for this to flush on down. Be careful here. Like this could come back up to 400 and still get a flush down in the 250 area. QCOM, push the limits. Bouncing back up. If we get above the roadmap line, this could break out the top. Not convinced of anything at the moment on QCOM. BABA, nice bounce. Can we get continuation? That was back to the roadmap line. The upside target still hanging out here, 170 to 200. Beautiful retrace. So remove that now that we retrace to the roadmap line. There's the 618 above the gap down. Get above it, 157. And the bottom of the target is right there within reach on this next bounce. Right there, right there. Back down and go again. All right. Snow. Oh. Are we going to stick this landing? I really like this pattern. I really like what we did here. If we can get back above the roadmap line, we're probably going right up here. We'll see on the downtrend. If we can break it, probably coming right up in here. CRM. I'm long on snow. CRM, potential to blast it on down here as long as we're under the roadmap line. Upside potential at 420 based on the bigger pattern that's cooking in here. And this big potential back here. And if we did get down here, we unlock the master level, potentially bigger upside targets. Reddit. Man, look at that. Gap through that target, back to that target, down to this target. If we don't hold that, we're coming down to this target. If we bounce off of that, we might come back up to this target. AMAT. I sold puts down here. Looking for this to pop back up. KKR. That looks like we're going to go lower. ANET. Potential to have found support there. We got a lot of bullish things to do to confirm we're going higher again. And the biggest one being get back to the roadmap line and get above the 618. It's a long way from where we are. So there's a lot of, like, if we were to do another retrace back to a 618 level, that could set up a measured bounce that gave us a better confidence. But right now, I can't see either way. Cloudflare looks like we need to extend it just a bit more. We didn't quite get there. EMN, Eastman Chemical. Wow. That used to be part of Kodak. Yeah, Kodak Eastman. And that's a choppy chart that goes nowhere. Oracle. Possible that this dip, but it's possible it keeps dipping. Like there's nothing clear on this chart. If we break back above the roadmap line and the 618 right now, 212 on the upside. NXPI. Nasty. VRT. And downtrend. Be careful. BA, we made a lower low, coming back up. Maybe that was the low. I mean, maybe we had to get one more low. I don't know. That created overlap, so now we have uncertainty in the chart. Not sure now. Not sure. This became more ambiguous to read. Not big on ambiguity in a chart. When they start messing up their pattern, we have to take a bunch of this stuff off at this point. We got lower low, so. And that's not a 4-5, so. I'm not convinced that that's the bottom. Way back here, early December in 23, I said we were going down to probably this area on Boeing, at least 160, if not 140. We did it. But now the question is, what next? It mucked up this chart with what it just did. I don't know. It has the potential to dip down here now. It's unfortunate. I'm not a fan when they muck up the chart. The price action is now unclear on BA. Halo, back tested. Even though this is a biotech, we back tested the trend line and the roadmap line at the same time. That can be a power move. Right there. That could be a power move. Potential targets, high is like 86 right there. AXP. Got that right there. And continuation lower. So that's the resistance to going higher if we're going to come back up. GE. Sitting here at the roadmap line. JPM. Sitting at the roadmap line. That can turn down and go lower. Lots of leverage stuff. Leverage charts don't always follow the patterns either. So got P, A, and W. Resistance right there. If we can get above it, we can go higher. If we reject, we might come back down to the bottom. MP. And pushing up, looking for the upside target. Be 28 and 29 at this point. BNTX, possible to bounce here. Be very careful. Upside's 161 and downside is in the basement. CVX, still working on downside. Potential to come down to the low 100s. PDD. It made a lower low, so everything we've talked about before reset now. Big three wave. Golly, look at that nasty correction. I don't know. At this point, it just keeps correcting, and that might break down and go lower. USD's semiconductor ETF, analog devices, more volatility. Tried to break out and then ended up just getting crushed. Messy chart at this point. XLY, consumer discretionary. Like we said, that sector got hit pretty hard. If we can bounce, that's 5 waves down. I would be very cautious if we come up to this area that we get in a continuation lower. Consumer discretionary may be in for a world of hurt based on that aggregate chart. Google, roadmap line 618, upside target 220. Amazon, same deal, roadmap line 618, upside target 256. DDOG, roadmap line. Same pattern over and over, right? Same pattern over and over. Roadmap line 618, upside target 189. Marvell chips, not superheroes. Same pattern. Although this has a potential measured bounce that we did. Roadmap line 618, potential 146. Shopify, roadmap line 618, potential 141. So the market's very contingent on a big picture reversal for a lot of these charts. DuPont got slammed. And cool, thank you. And QFin. And it's consolidating here. We may see another additional pop to 63. Palladium. Just chopping underneath the roadmap line. Baidu. Nice reversal. Resistance at the roadmap line 618 and upside target 120. Kava. That potentially was a measured bounce. I wanted to see it go a little bit lower. This is potentially measured bounce in place. Upside target potentially right up in here. XOM below the trend. CMG also has a potential big bounce in place. We could see this rock and roll back to 100. That's a potential double right there. And let's see. Leverage, 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 shiny, leverage, 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 leverage. Everything on the decliners list was leverage. Bonus trade, SIL, silver miners. Check this out. Beautiful potential. It's already rocking and rolling too. There's the high, there's the low. Potential breakout, 42, target right there. The statistics, 42.73 target, stop below 32. Closed at 40.22 with a potential upside of 251. And 80% win rate, 7.85. Profit factor, 21 days on 5 trades. So it doesn't have a very statistical population. 30 is a statistical population, 5 is not. So it does not have a long history of producing banging trades for 80% win rate. Now the other one that looks pretty darn good, FAST, Fastenal. Let's remove the drawings, draw it up here. Actually, it will have picked up this one right here. 83.63 target. And there's the entry right there. Here's the target, 83.63. Now, if you want to go for the bigger target, could be up to 87, but it's not guaranteed to do that. That's not part of the statistic. This is the pattern right here. This high, this low. It's at 83, possibly 85. Right there. Right there, right there. Now you might be like, well, how long? This is statistically significant. 93% of the time it's worked out. Profit factor 6.4. Right there. Pretty sweet. And they took the average duration off, which kind of frustrates me. Oh my gosh. And it must be 10 o'clock. All right, that's 2 trades for you. And bias for the day before we wrap this baby up. Go get into something else. So we talked about it, right? Got to break above the 54.90 area. Got to get above that to go higher. If we don't, we still have in the cards a potential 3-wave retrace, lower low than we made right there 2 days back on Thursday. Still in the cards, possibly down here around 5,000. Could go lower low than we did back last Monday. So be very, very careful. The account you save may be your own. A lower low still could be in the cards as long as we stay, like, how do we know? When we break above that low right there, when we get above that, which 54.90, 5,500, somewhere in that zone, we get above that low right there, it tips the odds we're going up instead of making a lower low immediately. Now, up from here is just up into that 618 between 56 and 5,800. So even though we break above here, we may have upside, limited upside. So this reaction off of this resistance here is very key. What happens next? Keep coming back for more. Hit the subscribe button. I'll keep updating you. See you again later, everybody. See you again later. See you again tomorrow. I'll be in Discord hanging out for those that have chosen to support me and my family. And